Hello, guys. Been a while. I think we already know where this is going, either by the title or by how I've not uploaded even the daily shorts or anything in general. I've given up on my dream. It pains me to say it, but over these last few days of not uploading, not playing, not getting closer to it, I've been spiraling downward, downward, more and more, and I think it's almost it's in 3 days. It's becoming a year since I started believing in Jesus Christ. I wouldn't say I've given my life to Him. I still feel like I live in sin and chained by the worldly desires. I used to, read the Bible daily, pray multiple times a day before meals, randomly just stopping during an activity, just randomly stopping from the activity I was doing and just praying and reading even more books and watching more content. I feel like my life is spiraling extremely downhill, extremely fast. But despite all this, I still want to make this video. The league thing, it doesn't work. So, in case you're new, my dream is to was to become a content creator by streaming League, improving at the game, streaming, playing, filming, YouTube uploading, becoming better at the game, uh, gaining popularity. As I became better, I gained more popularity, and with that popularity, I would have bought a coaching lessons, anything from top players, which I admire and I love to stream, players whose content helped me during very tough times in my life. But the only thing is not working. It's been almost a year since I'm stuck in the same place. Don't think I've got more LP, maybe one more, like from 82. Like I'll even show you. It was Platinum 382, and I don't think maybe I've got like 83. If 82 was my old high, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't work. It's probably me, the problem of course, but it's still every single game. Like of course there are better stuff that I can do, but every single time that I lose, I feel like there's just some random stuff that happens that makes it go terribly wrong. We're not here gonna talk about the games. I'm just gonna mention this last one I had a few minutes ago. Like this was my bot lane against this. I've already said enough. Um, I wanted to get money, after I did this grinding of improving at the game, getting some popularity, and then getting better and more and more and more. After that, I would have probably reached Challenger. That was part of my dream. Became full-time content. Find a way to live off of it. You know, a few thousand viewers maybe would have done the trick. Then I would just became bigger. I would have like saved up money and done bigger and bigger things because League was the first step in my dream that unfortunately I wasn't able to make. I'm calling it a dream, even though it's weird. I'm gonna get to this a bit sooner. Why I'm calling it a dream, but it was as I said, it was the first step. Then I would have gone bigger and bigger, and I would have made this sort of online persona named, the second king of the pirates. No, the third king I wanted to call myself, or even the fourth king. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking the fourth king, because it's heavily inspired by One Piece. I'll get there in a minute. And after that, I would have donated tons and tons of money to charities and just to my friends so they can live off happily, as I've mentioned a few times before, and not have them worry about the bad stuffs from life that comes from money, working, stress from job. If you're gonna lose your job, you cannot take up one day off, stuff like that. And become even bigger. I would have probably become a bigger persona than I would have been able to manage. And indeed, my plan was at the end to make some sort of foundation, whatever you want to call it, maybe a bit more drastic than that. Something that would have fought off the corruption of the world. We're not gonna enter in detail what it is, but just to try my best to make the world a better place at the cost of even my life, if it came to it. But yeah, and now let's take, as you can see, it didn't work. Now let's take this a step back and let's talk, for example, about the why is this a dream? Why is this so important to me? So, like 4 years ago, I was extremely depressed. Like we're talking, I was wondering daily if today was the day I was gonna, you know. And what kept me pushing was this were four things in my life. At the time, there were only four. The first one was my brother, who I didn't want to imagine him being that sad. Second one was my favorite YouTuber from that time, who passed away, fortunately, the Technoblade. And his words stuck to me. One of his last quotes was, "I hope you go on and live long, happy, and prosperous lives." That stuck to me a lot. Because he was an inspiration to me, and he he died young, unfortunately, at the age of 23 years old. And still think about him, of course, because he was a great guy. He died way too young, and I'm figure he, of course, he would have wanted to live. He would have wanted to live longer, but he couldn't get the opportunity, and I myself to throw it away just seemed irrational. Um, then my favorite streamer, which was still is the boss. I just loved his entire positive personality on life, and I took inspiration from it greatly every day. And the last, which is the main point of this little talk, this segment, is an anime called One Piece. In case you haven't heard, One Piece is about a boy, is an anime, a series about a pirate boy who wants to become the king of the pirates. And the show is very long and also very good. It's still ongoing. It has more than 1,000 episodes, which is crazy. Um, it it sparked something in me. At that point, like I was at the point where I didn't know why am I even waking up for? But after that, I figured, why don't I get a dream to help the world and to help the people I need and to be positive? And that's how my dream bore fruit. and not like bore fruit, like the seed was planted. It didn't bear any fruit, unfortunately. I would have wanted. I was inspired by him, so I started calling myself the fourth king of the pirate because I figured by the time I'd get there, the show would have already ended and he would have achieved his dream of becoming king of the pirates. But he wouldn't have been the first either. He would have been the second. The second, yeah. And there's another one in the show, and the first king is Christ, of course, Jesus Christ, the King of Kings. So that he was the first, and then two in the show, and then me the fourth. But yeah, it didn't work. After a while, I fast forward a few years. I started believing in Jesus, as I said, and it was, of course, it's with ups and downs. Logistically, it's only ups in the spiritual world, and of course, you get eternal life with Him in heaven, which is what we all strive to get. But my life on earth, of course, got a lot not a lot harder because I'm ashamed of myself because I don't do the right things. I shouldn't be ashamed, but that's all I feel when I think of what I've accomplished. Just shame. And I started calling it a mission, my dream, because I didn't quite understand what he was telling me in my prayers. I prayed and I did. This was the only thing which I didn't quite understand, whether he was telling me to continue or to give up. And as you can see, I don't know if it was the right call. I said that I had a good win streak, and I said that if I don't, I needed to win two more matches to break my record. And I said, okay, I'm gonna play these two matches. If I don't win them, I just give up. And I waited and I waited and I waited a lot of time. It's been weeks since I've played ranked because I wanted to feel like he tells me to play today, and that's what I did, and I lost. And this was not a mission, but only just like a desire, which is okay. I don't think it was a bad desire, but I'm sure that Christ has something better planned for me, if it is His will. And lately, I've been in a not quite so good place, both mentally, spiritually, physically, however you want to call it. I don't train daily as I used to. Like I skip, like I did 5 days a week before, and now I do like 3 to 4 sometimes. And training feels half-assed since I've returned from Japan. The spiritually, like I try to pray more often, and sometimes I do, but it feels like I can't hear His voice. I just pray and wait, and I don't feel like I hear anything. Which, of course, it's not good, but I don't know what to do. My Bible, I try to read it daily, but sometimes I forget, or sometimes I'm too asleep, or sometimes I'm lazy and say I'll read it in the morning more, but it adds up and it's not good. I bought a friend of mine bought me a physical Bible recently, and I've read that, but I feel like I don't understand it as good, so I've switched back to the digital one I've been reading to also write down some verses. But it's still so weird, and with the people next to me, like I feel like I keep falling into the same sins of anger, lust, and gluttony, and pride, and everything. I'm still arguing with one friend of mine, the one which I've said before, and the girl that I've confessed to like almost 8 months ago, still no answer.